Hello and welcome to your weekly card pull. My name is Alexa, I go by Alexa Alchemy, and today I'm going to be doing a reading for the week of February 6th, 2023. This specific reading is channeled for all of my Leo, so if you have Leo placements, especially Sun, Moon, Rising, or North Node, this reading is for you. I pulled 6 cards out of Sacred Creators Oracle deck. I do have 2 other decks. I have another Oracle and a Tarot deck here, so I may pull from those. But I wanted to start out with these first cards that came out for you guys. So, my dear Leos, for this upcoming week, you have a lot of fire energy, honestly, that is coming through. I pulled both the Soul on Fire card as well as the Sacred, or the Creator Fire card. So both of these imply this really intense level of passion, this burning within, and this, I feel like there's something in the way of like a sacred path or a path that you are challenged or feeling called to follow. It's gonna feel like something that you keep returning to. Like you cannot let go of this thing, and whatever it is, this project, this job, this connection, this relationship, whatever it is that you're feeling like a hot pursuit for, there is a reason for it for you, my dear Leos, and it's incredibly powerful. Before I get into the rest of the cards, I will say that we just had full moon in your sign, full moon in Leo, and the sun is in Aquarius right now, so there are some heightened energies right now. I did post a TikTok about this. If you're interested in astrology, go check it out at alexab.alchemy on TikTok or on Instagram. I'm on both. But the main theme that is coming up with this full moon is this willingness to be seen, and I mean like really seen by your community, by the collective, and by other people. Because you are Leo or you have Leo placements, a piece of this is going to feel a little bit maybe natural for you. However, because the sun is in Aquarius, and Aquarius is all about the needs of the collective, stepping out of the self to identify what everyone else needs, sometimes the energy of this particular full moon can come with a little bit of tension. Energies are going to be heightened, emotions are heightened, there's a lot going on right now, so everyone is kind of coming out of this full moon energy right now, so it's not just you. However, my dear Leos, your encouragement for working with and working through this energy is to tap into the things that you feel very deeply called to and drawn towards in this specific chapter of your life. But honestly, I feel like for a lot of you, this is something that's not just like a one-time thing. This isn't like a passion project that started out of nowhere. This is a deep-seated passion or deep-rooted passion that I feel like you've had for a really long time. I did also pull the card that acknowledges the sacred flow of yes, and this card comes up when there is a level of ease with energies, maybe energetic exchanges or things naturally coming to you with again, a level of ease. So I feel like for many of you, this passion project that you have, it's probably something that you, like this passion will come easily to you. And if you are willing to step out and move in the direction of these passions, I do feel that success or whatever it is that you are looking to gain out of them will also flow to you, and it will flow with a level of ease that I think you'll find really complimentary. Now, a couple of things that came up that might imply some blockages that you might be experiencing. I pulled 2 cards in reverse. The first one in reverse is upside down, or it appears upside down, and usually implies you need to turn within and look at yourself. Maybe there's some self-care or some shadow that you might want to look at, so stop projecting. So the first card I pulled was to move past intention, move beyond intention to belief. Right side up, the card looks like this. And in the upright position, this card talks about traditions and like things that have benefited you or people in the past, in your lineage specifically. There's like a huge key of traditions with this. When it's pulled in the reverse, as it was for you guys, move beyond intention to belief, this can imply that there are some beliefs, some ways of doing things, some habits, some things that are rooted in old behaviors or old patterns that don't necessarily serve you in this chapter. I feel like for some of you, my dear Leos, with this card having been pulled in the reverse, I do feel like for some of you, you might be stuck in doing things in old ways or ways that don't really work for you anymore. From the book, I want to read, there was like one phrase or a couple of phrases that really stuck out to me with this one. Getting stuck in the status quo, so in the old way, the traditional way of doing things, the way that everyone else is doing them. Also, in pulled in reverse, it could be a time to challenge institutional beliefs, letting go of old ways of thinking that you've outgrown, learning to navigate as a new age thinker in old age circumstance, and also possibly a need to cultivate more faith. So there is, I feel like because I pulled the Creator Fire and the Soul on Fire card, both, whatever this passion is that you feel strongly drawn to, my dear Leo, might be a little bit taboo, might be something that maybe people in your family, your lineage, in your surroundings haven't really explored before. This could be, even for you, just a new thing. And it might feel challenging and you might feel some blockages in that way because it's something that is a little bit unfamiliar. It's kind of this like new territory. And I did also pull for you guys a card in reverse that encourages you to feed your inner artist. And this has a lot to do with nourishing the self, nourishing the soul, and nourishing your creative energy. So for some of you, this blockage may come in the form of not being willing to be creative, not being willing to take risks, or being around people who don't necessarily support creativity in the way that you currently are carrying it. I feel like for some of you, because I pulled the Sacred Flow of Yes card, and that has a lot to do with flow and feminine energy, kind of ebbs and flows, things moving with ease and with a level of simplicity. I do think that this card, having been pulled in reverse, is kind of related to that in the way of, I think some things, where am I going with this? I feel like some of you may be getting in your own way, getting in the way of your own natural flow. If things do not feel like they're flowing easily, or if you are feeling like you are blocked, things are blocked, it's possible that those blockages might be rooted in a level of perfectionism. I feel like because artistry really is about this willingness to bring forward something new. And if you are judging, for example, that side of yourself, that level of judgment will block your creativity. And so if, again, this passion project, this thing that you feel really drawn to, maybe it goes against the status quo, or it goes against the things that you are used to, or the things that people have done before you. So there's this degree of you that kind of feels like blocked in that because you maybe don't have a roadmap ahead of you. And it's not always necessary to have a roadmap, especially if you are doing something in the entrepreneurial or creative space. Oftentimes you're going to be making your own path for yourself. But if you have really, really harsh expectations of what you're going to deliver, what you're going to create, or if you're over judging yourself, or not putting enough value on like your talents and your craft, and not putting enough value on the process of artistry, like the process of artistry in itself, it's not going to happen overnight. Like, creative energy requires rest and it requires time to recover. So I do feel like for some of you, there may be some challenges this week, or you may be experiencing challenges and trying to figure out how to navigate them in the way of allowing for that artistry to really, really come through and to be shared with others and with the world around you. I do love how this card, the image that it has like branches kind of branching out, and I think this, to me at least, implies this level of like the way that your creative energy is going to kind of root out to other things and going to feed other things as well. So you have some creative joy, my dear Leos. You obviously, with the Soul on Fire and the Creator Fire cards, like you have some passion for something. You have a really deep passion for a way of doing things, a belief system, getting religion for some people, a project. There's just something that you really feel strongly about, and you're being encouraged to nourish that side of yourself this week. I did also pull the card that says that the edge of evolution feels messy, so this process may not feel super clean. It may feel challenging. Again, artistry is not always, why is this card still blurry? I want this card to be, I don't know why my camera is doing this. There we go. Okay. So if it feels like there are certain things that are just feeling messy or not super clean, yeah, like I said, again, this process of artistry, this process of creation is not going to be perfect all the time. I feel like some of you need to maybe step out of Virgo if you have, especially like a Chiron in Virgo, or other Virgo placements, maybe acknowledging, maybe I'm getting Saturn in Virgo for some people, like acknowledge where your Virgo placements might be and have a level of care and compassion for that side of you that is obsessed with or interested in refinement, because refinement is, you know, it's not inherently bad, it's a wonderful gift. However, the shadow side of Virgo refinement energy is that it can come out in the way of perfectionism. So my dear Leo, if you have some placements that bring you towards more of a proclivity for perfectionism, it's okay to acknowledge it. It's okay that those exist. It's okay that you feel that way, but it may also benefit you to acknowledge that that is simply a feeling and it is not necessarily the whole truth. And if it's blocking you in your creative process, I would encourage you to really intentionally take some time out to work with that and to try to find a good balance, a healthy balance that will benefit you. I do feel called to also pull from my Crystal Spirits Oracle deck just to see if there's any other advice about maybe how to go about stepping into your creativity, how to bring this energy forward, anything else that you guys may need to know or that might be beneficial as you move into the upcoming week. So we'll see if any cards will do a pop out. If none pop out, then I will, well, some popped out. I do want to pull, oh nice. I had a feeling one of these would come up. Okay, good, beautiful. So, we have a lot of orange. There's a lot of orange, my dears. We've got orange sapphire, we've got orange calcite. From the last deck, again, we had the soul on fire, the creator fire. There is so much orange energy here for you, Leos. This is orange energy. This is your sacral chakra. This is all about your creative energy, your willingness to bring things into life. So, orange calcite, being willing to be open to creativity, especially sensual pleasures. So this could be your sensuality, your sexuality, also just connection to your body in general and your creative energy, whether that is, again, through a physical lens or from a sexual perspective, that's fine. This creative energy could also be in the way of artistry. Because of the other cards, gosh, just dropped some rose quartz. Because of the other cards that I pulled, I do feel like this is going to come through a little bit more in the way of your creative energy, in the way of like passion projects. So that, yes, okay, that's coming through strongly. Orange sapphire, this has a lot to do with body love, making sure that you are nourishing yourself, nourishing your body. If you do not have a good diet or a clean diet or a diet that encourages you to be healthy, I would recommend that you put some energy, some loving energy into that this week. I'm also getting diet in the way of anything that you take in and ingest. For some of you, I'm feeling like if you dabble with psychedelics or anything like that, maybe some microdosing, cacao is another really gentle plant medicine that I definitely recommend for pretty much everyone. So if you haven't worked with cacao, maybe shoot me a message if you're curious about what that path might look like. But if not, yeah, some microdosing might be beneficial. Again, I'm not endorsing this or recommending this. This is just what is coming through. Some of you may benefit from even contemplating this, or if you've done this in the past and it's not something that you feel resonant with now, what are the lessons you learned from it before, and can you apply those to the situation that you are in now? I did also pull for you guys Apache Tears in reverse, Turquoise in reverse. Turquoise has a lot to do with your narratives, your storytelling. What are the things that you were telling yourself about your situation, about who you are, about your life? Apache Tears is about grief, specifically letting go of grief. Because these were both in reverse, these may be things that you have a little bit more of a challenge with. The cards I pulled from the Sacred Creators deck, the last deck, again, encouraging you to move beyond tradition in a way that will benefit you. I do feel like some of you maybe have some outdated narratives, some outdated ways of thinking or ways of doing things. Again, you may, because of these two I pulled together and they're the only two that were in reverse, I think some of you may be releasing. Again, Apache Tears is all about letting go, release, and grieving things that no longer are, and releasing, specifically releasing that grief. It's not a bad card, it's an amazing card. Anytime you pull this card, it implies a level of letting go of the grief that you've been carrying. So for some of you, there may be narratives that you have been carrying that you're ready to release. Again, those blockages likely are coming in the way of my work is not good enough, my product has to be perfect, and it's standing in the way of your creative energy. So right now, this is implying to me that some of you, especially with the full moon energy that we just had, have a beautiful opportunity to release those patterns of thinking, to release those ways of believing, those ways of perceiving, to release those narratives, because they don't really need to be along this path with you anymore. And you can, along with that, because it is a death of a version of yourself, even if that version doesn't serve you now. There may be some emotions involved with that process. So if you're letting go of the perfectionistic side of you and it brings up emotions for you, if you feel like you have to cry in order to release that, that is okay. Just know that that's part of the process of cleaning out the old so you can make room for the new. And the new might be more oriented, or experimental, that's the word, might be more experimental, might be willing to get a little bit messier than you have been in the past. And my Leo, that is beautiful. I know Leo energy wants to show up, and it usually sometimes will want to show, like, bring the best foot forward. And in allowing yourself to get messy and allowing yourself to be imperfect, my dear, I think you're going to bring some of your gifts forward in ways that maybe you haven't been able to in the past because you've been blocked by your perfectionism. And finally, my dear Leos, I pulled for you Raw Morganite, which has everything to do with self-compassion, self-love, and forgiveness, especially of the self, as well as the card of Diamond, which implies a level of beauty and strength arising from trials and challenges. So again, your trials and challenges, the things that feel imperfect, the things that feel messy, the edge of evolution feels messy, you know, those kind of things that maybe your perfectionistic side is trying to hide, or your narratives, I'm getting like family conditioning and patterning, things in your brain that are telling you that those don't deserve to be brought forward to the world. Those things, I think you need to forgive yourself for being imperfect, my dear, and you need to forgive those things for existing, because they are a part of what makes you who you are. And those challenges that have come up for you in your life, those are actually creating space and opportunities for you to step into your greatness. So my dear Leos, I feel like it's a pretty clear message for you this upcoming week to tap back into your creativity, tap back into those passion projects, especially if and when blockages come up. Be willing to acknowledge that maybe they're coming from narratives, especially outdated and old narratives that you really don't want to carry anymore. If you're ready to release those narratives, now is a really good time to do so. Maybe spend some time journaling, or create a process where you can actively release these ways of thinking that just don't serve you in this next chapter, and create space for yourself to move into the energy that you feel called to move into for this next chapter, this upcoming chapter that you have. So I feel like that's good to close us out. I was thinking of pulling some tarot, but I really don't feel like it's necessary. I think the message here is pretty clear for you guys today. So if you have questions, if you want me to do a supplementary pull, or you feel called to a tarot pull or anything, please shoot me a message and let me know. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram at alexab.alchemy. And here on YouTube, if you haven't already, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel. I post videos like this every single week with a reading. So if you ever need guidance, it's a really easy, quick place to go. At the very least, if this video was helpful, please leave me a little thumbs up so I know that it resonated. If you want to leave a comment, feel free to do so. And finally, if you haven't checked out the readings for your sun, moon, rising, and north node, please feel free to go ahead and go do those. They may provide a little bit more clarity for you, especially if anything feels like you want to have a little bit more expansion on the message. So I love you, my dear Leos. I love you so much. Thank you so much for being here, for sharing your energy with me. I will see you guys next week, and I wish you a beautiful rest of your day. Bye.